you should recall, please agree. Oh, yeah.
Space World 2000. The GameCube made its debut alongside a special game that would change one Mario character forever. That is none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Luigi. Luigi's Mansion was certainly a different from other Mario games at the time. At this point, we've had Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3, World, Land, Tennis, Dr. Mario, Kart, Golfing, Painting, Hotel, Party, more karting and party games, 64. You get the point. There was basically nothing for Luigi. Well, if you don't count. Besides that, Luigi can often be known as the sideline brother. Mario is always getting the main focus. Luigi for the longest time was known as Green Mario, bigger T and literally. But it all changed when Luigi's Mansion was released alongside the GameCube, a risky move made by Nintendo. But since then, people have fallen in love with this Green Man, to the point where he's gotten a couple spin-off games, and 2 more Luigi Mansion games. But today, I'm going to talk about what makes the Mansion games so special in their own right. Released on November 18th, 2021, Luigi's Mansion is the first in the lineup. The story is pretty simple. Luigi won a mansion he did not enter, and his brother Mario goes missing. Wait a minute. But oh no, the mansion is haunted. And because of how much of a Chad Luigi is, he's going to do some busting. Alright, the difference in storytelling and gameplay from other Mario games at the time. The environment, the texture, the lighting. Not only are we in a more enclosed and claustrophobic space, the dark and abandoned environment is what makes this one of the best tone setters that later games kinda haven't captured. The ghost designs are great, the portrait ghosts are well designed, and they give off a bit of personality, even in their bios and movements. The main ghost can be spooky and creepy at the right moments. Plus, they're always shown to get Luigi. The next 2 make it so that they're more goofy and silly. You can make the argument that these ones were more aggressive because they were made. You can beat the game in a short amount of time. That's pretty neat. A good game to play lots of times. The first one, Luigi's Mansion, is a great and fun game to play. And you can tell this game was made with a lot of love and passion. It did help rate Luigi as a character to care for. They get a remake/port for the Nintendo 3DS, and it added some new story elements. I'll elaborate more on that later on. And so Luigi defeats King Boo with his Bowser doll something, saves Mario with the most heartwarming ending of Luigi laughing and shedding a tear, so happy to get his brother back. Luigi's Mansion is a great first installment, but it gets better as we continue to March 20, 2013, to coincide with the year of Luigi. First, we get the backstory. That in Evershade Valley, a powerful object called the Dark Moon is there to keep the ghost friendly and calm. Professor Egad went there to investigate and befriend the ghost, when suddenly a familiar figure appears and blows up the Dark Moon. And now, nice ghosts like to scare. Egad calls up Luigi and asks him for his help for another round of ghost busting. First off, not only is this game bigger than the first one, it takes more of a mission base for more on and off short gameplay experiences. I personally don't mind as much. Well, yeah, it can kind of get annoying getting teleported after a sequence and not really getting it the chance to just explore the entire mansion on our own, with some parts just being closed off. Second, Iga keeps calling up Luigi. Yes, it will get to a point where this becomes really annoying. Third, unlike the first game, this one is more cartoony and takes more of a colorful approach. The visuals look really good. Kinda sad how it's not as dark and claustrophobic as the first game. In the end, the game is really fun. Not only adding new tools for Luigi's exposure, but also adds new types of bosses. It can vary on people's opinions on these bosses. I'm just gonna say I do hate one with a burning passion. They also introduced new types of ghosts and more mansions. We now have 5 mansions to explore in this one. First is the Gloomy Manor, second is the Haunted Towers, third is the Clockworks Tower, fourth is the Hidden Mines, and finally, the Treacherous Mansion. All are unique and different, for sure, and bring all new puzzles to solve. There are quite a few fetch quests here and there, but at least it gives us an excuse to take a look back at the environment in the game. Unfortunately, the portrait ghosts are absent for this one. By the end, Luigi faces off King Boo one more time, restoring the Dark Moon, turning all the ghosts back to normal, and he saves Mario, and adorably he adopts Polterpup. In the end, Luigi saves the day as he falls asleep with his dog. Luigi's Mansion 2, while not as replayable as the first game, is still an enjoyable second installment. Let's get to our next installment. October 31st, 2019. First hinted with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, we can see Luigi wearing a new Poltergust, an obvious hint for the next game. This time, Luigi and crew won a vacation to a hotel, one that they haven't entered. After a nice daytime section, it soon takes a turn for the worst, as it's revealed it was a trap to capture all of them by King Boo and Helen Gravely. Luigi manages to escape, and the main story plays out. This time, no longer mission based, you can actually just explore as much as you want, which is really refreshing, to say the least. One unfortunate problem, I would say that over time with the games, the main ghosts become more and more like goofballs. I do like how they're trying to give the ghosts more personality, and I do appreciate that. Also, the boss ghosts have returned, and each floor actually has a unique one. Each one has unique personalities that makes them great when they show up. There's 15 floors in this hotel, and the cool thing is that each floor has its own theme, kinda like how in Dark Moon, there's 5 different types of mansions. There's the Boiler Works, the basement, the Grand Lobby, the Mezzanine, the RP Studios, the Shopping Center, the Great Stage, Castle McFrights, the Garden Suites, the Paranormal Productions, the History Museum, the Tomb Suites, the Twisted Suites, the Spectral Catch, Fitness Center, Dance Hall, and the Master Suites, and then finally the Rooftop. And you could tell they went all out with designing these places. Now being on a more advanced hardware, the details look so good, and that music too. Weirdly enough, some of the areas are really brightly lit. On the one hand, it looks really good and really nice to look at, but on the second hand, it kinda ruins the whole dark and haunted place. Besides this, you can just tell how much love they put into this one especially, not only improving on the problems in the first game, but adding some new stuff to this one to make it fresh, like Luigi, who's more of a second player, and the good thing is that he does play off with Luigi, and the good thing too is that it's not really mandatory to be 2 players. You can still just have fun as 1 player. And it does work in a sense that even if you're playing with 2 players, it does make for a nice experience. By the end of the game, Luigi and Gooigi defeat King Boo. The hotel is destroyed, and the ghosts are free from their mind control. And the cool thing is that with the money you collected throughout the game, you can rebuild a hotel, just like in the first game, where you get a rank based off the amount of money you have. In the end, you wave goodbye. Luigi's Mansion is a huge improvement from Dark Moon, and a perfect third game.
The one neat thing about Luigi's Mansion is that it does have a neat bit of consistent continuity. It makes sure all three games are connected and slowly smooths right into each other. To sum it up, what makes Luigi's Mansion a great series? Well, I would say it's the passion and the personality. Not only are these games fun, great, and stunning to look at, they give Luigi so much personality. Even some of the other characters too. Even though nowadays Luigi is now more widely known and more appreciated, he still gets a little sidelined a bit, but at least this great series gave him the love he deserves. Hey, with the upcoming Mario movie, hope we can get a Luigi's Mansion movie too. Wouldn't that be neat? Luigi's Mansion will always be my favorite video game series that I hold greatly to my heart. It took me 8 years to beat the first game, and 11 to complete and get the second game. And to make a video on my favorite video game of all time. Well, second favorite. My favorite video game of all time is still Luigi's Mansion. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a good night.
Open the door or I'm going to throw rocks through your windows.